Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 6. And this is going to be my trailer breakdown for episode 15 of for this season, otherwise entitled The Exorcism of Nash Wells. But of course, before we get into anything else, let's actually watch that goddamn trailer.
I know losing your speed is scary.
Don't let him get to you.
Too late. I'll use a booster.
Speed steroids? We have no idea what it could do to you.
You're gonna be too weak to stop me. And the fun's really gonna begin.
The Flash, new episode next Tuesday at 8/7 Central, only on the CW.
So last episode was arguably one of the best episodes of the season. I personally found it the best just on an entertainment, base, if you want to call it. Obviously, we had the return of Wally West, saw him with some new cool powers and just some new, or a better understanding of the Speed Force in general, which was a bit short-lived, I guess you could say, due to what happened in the episode, but it also makes you wonder what Barry could possibly do if he gave the other time and focus to the Speed Force, but obviously he's got a lot going on in his life, while he had the time to actually properly study it, if you want to call it. But of course, one of the main things that happened in the episode was the Speed Force actually died. The episode was called Death of the Speed Force, so you'd expect it to die, but we also saw Nash Wells taken over by, let's just call it the spirit of Reverse Flash at the moment, because it wasn't actually Eobard Thawne. It was almost, like the spirit or the cloud of his brain and memories and mind, wherever it was. He's taken over by that. Eobard Thawne is in control of Nash's body, and we're back to some Eobard Thawne goodness, and just seeing that relationship with Barry is fun to watch. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out in this episode. But of course, before we actually go over the trailer, break it down, we will quickly read out the synopsis, which gives us actually one main thing that isn't even highlighted in the trailer, which is pretty surprising, so we'll go over that. But of course, throughout the video, it would be awesome if you could drop all of your various opinions, thoughts, theories, abusive comments, whatever it might be, leave them all in the comments section down below. Intrigued to see what you guys are expecting in this episode, and what you're looking forward to the most. Let me know what you think of that in the comments section down below. And of course, if you're going to enjoy this video and you're looking forward to this episode based off the trailer, why not drop a like on the video to show support and excitement and, hype as well. The Flash takes on a dangerous new meta named Sunshine. Cisco sets out to help Nash. So that, that synopsis was short and sweet. However, it's also important to remember it was released before episode 14 aired, yesterday from when this video comes out. So they couldn't reveal everything there. Like, in a perfect world, they probably would say, Flash takes on a dangerous new meta, Cisco sets out to help Nash after Reverse Flash sort of stole his body, and then maybe something else like Ralph Dibny eats spinach. It could have extra stuff there, but it couldn't spoil the episode. We'd be annoyed if this synopsis spoiled the episode, so thank God it didn't do that, or thank Bebo it didn't do that. But yeah, let's go over this trailer. So we start off with, I know losing your speed is scary. Now this is Mirror Iris, this isn't proper Iris, so it's the mirror version of Iris West saying this to Barry. Now, Barry needs he needs his speed. It's a part of him. Sort of what's happening in this episode, pretty much was all this season is. It's like Rebirth, DC Rebirth. But specifically what's happening in this episode is almost a take on what happened in the Perfect Storm arc, where essentially Grodd takes or steals Barry's speed. This happened very recently in the comics, like over the past year and a half, 2 years or so. Now, Barry went like above and beyond to get his speed back, even at like the other speedsters looking down at him, because Barry also during the storyline was saying, I don't need my speed, I don't need it, and then he's like, well, no, I need it. So it wouldn't surprise me if they do something similar in this episode, where Barry sort of goes out of his way, and we do see hints of that as well. So I would expect, pretty much that's what's going to happen, where Barry, he definitely needs his speed, he might play down like he doesn't need it, but then go to above and maybe even extreme measures to get maybe not even like what he had, but just a version of, speedster abilities. So I'm intrigued to see what lengths Barry goes to in this episode, maybe even future episodes, but specifically this episode. Now we do see Barry versing Thawne, or Nash, I guess it's Thawne as Nash, in the pipeline cell. Now we do have Thawne telling Barry that he is going to be too weak to stop him, which, if you think about it, is true. Barry's really running off a limited amount of power, and I'd say even fairly low limits of power due to what happened in the previous episode. It's pretty much running off a normal battery, not a rechargeable battery like usually Barry is. It's a battery, it's going down percentage, and it's not even at 100%. He's starting with his iPhone, he's woke up in the morning, he's got to go to school and he's got work after, and it's only at 60%. Is he going to make it through the day? Probably not, especially if he uses it. So no Angry Birds, no texting, no Fortnite. Am I making like boomer references here? I don't know. None of that crap. Try and use your phone smartly. In this case, Barry, try and use your powers in a very smart way. So I'm intrigued to see what happens with this before the whole Reverse Flash thing happens. Like, what leads to that? Does Barry cause it? Does Barry's like selfishness and wanting to get his own powers back lead to the whole Reverse Flash stuff we're seeing in this trailer? If I had to make a prediction, or at least a little bit of a guess, I would say probably. It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. And if anything, that's probably what's going to happen, because Barry might have to learn a lesson here. But in regards to the Reverse Flash stuff, we do see Thorne in the Reverse Flash suit. His hair back to sort of like a black color, I think. It's hard to tell because these trailers that come out first from like TV promos and stuff that come from the episodes, the lighting's a bit weird anyway. But I guess the big question is, because this is in like an underground area, that seems a bit odd. I don't think it's that underground area where like that Nash found, where it was like the Monitor's hideout and stuff like that, or the Anti-Monitor's hideout. I don't think it's that area. So it makes you think, is this a real area, or is it like a mindscape sort of thing? And I think it depends on where this is in the episode. If it's like midway through the episode, then it's probably like fake in the mind or something like that. However, this could potentially be like a climactic fight towards the end of the episode in a certain area that maybe Eobard Thawne needed to go to, or he leads Barry there in some way that serves the plot and like plays into the story. We can't tell because we haven't watched the episode, so who knows. Now, we don't see Reverse Flash put his cowl up in this trailer at all. It's always with the cowl down, which once again makes you think maybe it is, a dream or something. And also, but also, the thing that sort of makes you think it's real is that Barry is never in his Flash suit in these scenes by the looks of it. He's in the Flash suit in the trailer, but he's never in his Flash suit at any of these points in the trailer by the looks of it, like with Thawne. And he seems to be wearing the same clothes that he's wearing when he's just out and about in like Star Labs. So due to that, I would think that, this is real. That Barry is 100% like facing Reverse Flash in like a real way here, and he has his powers back. Like, he's got the glow up red eyes. So he's definitely lethal at this stage. So Barry's definitely going to have to use his powers. We do see Caitlin telling Barry to not let Thawne get to him, but that's like asking a dog to like not eat that piece of chicken that just fell on the floor. They're going to take the bait. The dog's going to eat it. Barry's going to let Thawne get to him. It's just the way the world works. Just how the globe spins. Now, Barry does want to use velocity, but looks of it as like a booster. It will be interesting to see if it's to use on him directly, like he injects it into himself, or he uses it on like a device of sorts. We can see Barry with I'd say like a chunky watch, and they go out of their way like 2 or 3 times throughout the trailer to highlight that he's wearing it. In one shot in particular, it sort of like shimmers green at one stage, and it made me, like, at first I was like, are they trying to like replicate Turtle 2.0's abilities, like slowing, or just Turtle's abilities in general, like slowing down time? Or is it something completely different? Is this like a source of power for Barry? Is this like the mini battery for like a sort of like artificial speed force that was brought up at the end of last episode, but Barry has to sort of like wear it to access it? I'm intrigued to see what it is, because they highlight it, as I said, like 2 or 3 times in the episode. So it must be important, and it's not Barry's normal watch. So yeah. In regards to what happens in this episode, I guess one of the big questions that a lot of people will have going into it is whether Thawne wins in this episode. Does he escape? And look, I'm not going to say he does, because it's hard to tell 100% if everything in this episode is real in regards to when he is Reverse Flash. But if that is real, then I would say probably, because I think they'd like Reverse Flash being out there in the open. But the big thing, which leads into the next question, is about Nash, and that's, what does Cisco try and do for Nash in this episode? And, well, it's called the Exorcism of Nash Will, so I guess it's going to be about trying to, remove Reverse Flash. I guess it's like some sort of like device that to do with the brain or something like that, or the mind. I'm intrigued to see what they do there, because it's something that's unexplored territory. That's probably the best way to put it. So maybe it might involve getting into, like, maybe that's what happens. Maybe Barry has to jump into the mind of Eobard Thawne as Nash in order to defeat Reverse Flash in the mind and remove him. If it's that case, then it is like familiar territory, because we've done sort of things similar to that. But if it is like, more like a device in particular that they have to try and like maybe inject into this Thawne and stuff like that to remove him from Nash's body, then it's a bit different. But I don't know. What do you think will happen there? Like, it wouldn't surprise me if they did the whole thing where Barry jumps in Reverse Flash's mind and removes him, so it's just Nash. which would sort of fit in, I guess, with like the whole exorcism thing. But that seems familiar to even like the Grodd episode, which is only 2 episodes from this, like 2 episodes previous to this one. So I have to wait and see. Now, the last thing to talk about is that we do see Barry in a flash suit, or in his flash suit, getting knocked down at one stage in this episode. Now, this is most likely against like the villain of the week, if you want to call it, that is highlighted in the synopsis for the episode, who is called Sunshine. That's not a character from the comics, but it does sort of fit into like the whole UV ray thing. So you've had like Dr. Light and obviously Ultraviolet, and I guess if you want to chuck in Allegra there as well, UV ray villains or metas, I guess, in this season. So she fits into that. I don't know how they're going to fit her in a considerable way, and then have the whole Thorn thing playing out as well. Like, honestly, I think personally I probably wouldn't even have had anything like that in the episode, but maybe she's only in the episode for like 5 minutes total, and she's in like the beginning and then maybe towards the end, and that's about it. So I wouldn't expect too much of her in the episode, to be completely honest. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed my video and breakdown on this latest trailer that comes out, or the episode comes out next week. If you enjoyed it, it would be awesome if you could drop a like on it. Show support and excitement for what's coming up. Let me know all of your various opinions, thoughts, theories, all of that in the comment section down below. Intrigued to see what you guys think of this episode and what you're excited for. And yeah, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.